Want some more coffee?
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay.
I'll leave the dishes. I'll do them later.
No, this is my treat today. I'm cleaning up.
You talked me into it. Breakfast was great.
Well, I woke up this morning. I thought about you all alone over here. I thought, he might just like to have a nice hot breakfast today for a change, instead of the usual coffee and Danish Ben tells me you have on the way to the clinic.
Yes, well, I'm not usually much of a breakfast person. But today, well, I must say it's nice to be pampered, especially after what happened yesterday. I mean, the plane, the guns.
Well, at least Sebastian was caught.
Yes, thank goodness for that. Imagine all those months fooling everybody.
Including the police.
Yes, thank goodness Jean kept on digging.
Mm-hmm. You expecting somebody?
No, well, maybe it's the paper boy collecting. Amber.
I guess I'm the last person you expected to see. I guess I just wanted to, find out if you had heard about Sebastian. Well, Mrs. Davidson, spend the night?
Charles, I'd like to see Courtney right away. Do you know where she is?
Oh, good. Preston, nice to see you.
You look like a Cheshire cat. What are you so happy about?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough when Vaughn fills you in on all the details, and I might add, I think you're going to find it great news, too.
I wouldn't be so sure of yourself, Charles.
I haven't the foggiest idea what either one of you were talking about. In this particular moment, I don't care. Now, where's Courtney?
Let's see, about now she's probably in English class. But I'm sure she'll be back right after that. There's nothing left at Kingsley to detain her any longer.
Absolutely nothing.
All right. I see I'm going to have to play out the little charade. So, what's the good news?
Well, Courtney has decided to break off this troublesome relationship with Peter Davidson.
That's nothing new.
And she wants to go ahead with plans on our wedding as soon as possible.
Preston, your lack of enthusiasm is astonishing. I thought this is what you wanted.
I have a feeling that he knew what Courtney was planning all along.
Yes. She talked to me before I left Kingsley the last time.
Then you knew, and yet you played along without telling me.
Well, I didn't have the time when we were back in Lake Forest. I spent most of my time with Phyllis at
You
Rosie.
weren't with her all of the time, Preston. I saw you at least 2 or 3 times in my father's office. Now, why didn't you tell me?
I thought Courtney would want to tell you herself, so I didn't want to intervene.
Oh, boy, intervene. Now, that's a classic, Preston. God forbid either of the 3 of us ever intervene in each other's lives, right?
He's got you on that one, Preston. You know, when you first came in, you said you wanted to see Courtney. Was that because you wanted her to confirm what you already knew?
Well, since you seem to have all the answers this morning, I'll let you stew in that one until after I've seen her.
Well, that may be, but I am certainly not going to stew about one thing, and that concerns the little matter of the deal that you and I made.
So you had a hand in all of this?
Your brother did absolutely nothing, Preston. I mean, he's provided room and board for Courtney while she stayed here. Hardly warrants a position on the board at Carpenter Shipping. despite your thoughtlessness.
Have you quite finished?
Quite.
Despite the fact that our young friend here is having a convenient lapse of memory, we have a written agreement. It has nothing whatsoever to do with what he said. Is that true? When these two are married, I get your position on the Carpenter Shipping Line board. And I mean to get that. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no time limits. In spite of what this sarcastic ingrate says.
You're a long way from the main road. Give you a lift?
Yeah, my car broke down up the way there. It's the third time this month. I'm about ready to chunk that old heap. I would appreciate it if you could give me a ride up to the nearest gas station.
Sure, glad to. Hop in.
Hey, I think you ought to look at this. Looks like your tire's going flat.
Can't be. I've been driving all morning.
So, what's the Christian word for living together?
Actually, what we were doing was eating breakfast.
Don't explain. I was just joking.
Well, it isn't very funny. I think you owe Terry an apology.
Oh, right. I forgot you folks don't like to joke about that sort of thing. I'm sorry, Mrs. Davidson. I certainly didn't mean to offend you.
Thank you, Amber.
I really didn't come here this morning to fight with you.
Good. Would you like a cup of coffee?
No, I can only stay a minute. Like I said, I really wanted to come by to see if you had heard about Sebastian Knight.
Yes, we heard yesterday.
And I guess to clear the air just a little bit.
I'd like that.
I realized that I was wrong. Blaming you. And Stacy, too. But you've got to admit that...
Admit what? That I try to reconcile with your mother? To rebuild a family that I already admitted that I'd destroyed? Amber, if we're going to clear the air, let's start by being honest.
I just wanted you to know that When Lee demanded that I cover up that bullet hole in my apartment, I refused.
I'm glad you did. Does that mean you realize that I'm not responsible for the circumstances leading to your mother's murder?
I guess we're all a little bit responsible.
Yes, I agree. I guess we are.
Look, I really just wanted to let you know that I didn't intend, it wasn't my purpose to hurt anybody, you or Stacy. I just wanted to find out who my mother's murderer was and see that he was punished, no matter who it turned out to be.
Amber, Sebastian just took advantage of circumstances created by other people. People who thought more of themselves than they did your mother.
Like me.
Yes, like you. But there were other people, too. Had Lee not had the affair with Andrea, your mother wouldn't have left him. And she wouldn't have been in the apartment that night. And if you hadn't slept with Gil, gotten pregnant, and destroyed maybe any chance of happiness that your sister and Gil might have had, well...
So you're putting all the blame on me?
No. All I'm saying is that we all have to ask for forgiveness sometimes. Me, Stacy, and you.
Well, I don't need your forgiveness. I'm not asking for it, and I don't need you or anything about you. I never have, and I never will. And the reason I really came by to see you was to say goodbye. I'm leaving Kingsley. Might not ever see me again.
Where are you going?
New York. Who knows, maybe even London or Paris. Anywhere is better than here.
Are you going to take this anger with you?
Don't worry. When I leave Kingsley, I won't bother looking back. Daddy.
You may call me what you'd like, Charles. It doesn't change the inevitable.
Are you suggesting...
I'm really growing tired of you, Charles. Now, Preston, will you please set your brother straight about this? Because, frankly, it's getting embarrassing for both of you.
There is nothing embarrassing about a contractual arrangement between two brothers.
He's telling the truth. I didn't think you two would marry for several years.
Well, what were you hoping for? A change of heart?
Well, it doesn't matter what I hoped for. I did sign it, and it is completely legal.
Precisely.
Well, I guess it really doesn't matter after all. I mean, one carpenter's ineptness is just as good as another's. Your reputations precede you both.
Well, you haven't had the time to develop any type of reputation, Vaughn. You lack substance.
When I'm sitting across from you at that board, don't expect the kind of preferential treatment you got here.
Boy, the day I look across that board table and I see you sitting there is the day I'm going to advise that my father just sabotaged the rest of Carpenter Shipping.
You know, I'm only going to have to contend with him when we're sitting on that board, but you will have him around permanently as your son-in-law. You'll also see him reflected in your grandchildren, too.
Why don't you
Oh, shut up, both of you! Now, I told you that the minute Vaughn and Courtney are married, you can have my seat on the board of Carpenter Shipping. But as near as I can ascertain, that time has not yet arrived. Now, if you don't mind, both of you, I'm going over to the college and try and locate my daughter. And while I'm gone, please try and refrain from tearing each other to shreds. Save something for your enemies.
Well, we were just having breakfast, but I'm sure there's room for one more.
No, please, I only have a minute. Hi, Miriam.
Hi.
I'm sorry to drop by unannounced like this, but I wanted to bring you my keys to the office.
Oh, you mean I'm starting this job already?
Don't get too thrilled yet. You still start on Monday. I just thought maybe you might want to start moving in today since I'm leaving today.
Oh, that is a thrill. Babs.
Oh, no, that's all right. Some people make opportunities for other people, and some people just live off of other people. Anyway, I am leaving earlier than I planned because I already have a couple of assignments in New York.
Oh, that's terrific. I'm glad that you're having the assignment.
Yeah, thanks. Listen, I know you're going to have your hands full, but don't worry about a thing. There will be people there to take care of you, to show you the ropes, and I wouldn't have hired you if I didn't think you could do the job.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, she's really leaving Kingsley. Smart move. She should have done it a lot sooner. Oh, Babs, put a lid on it.
Why should I?
She's caused everybody their share of problems.
And so did Miriam at one time, and I don't recall you being exactly an angel either.
Oh, I know. But I've changed, you know that. And so's Miriam.
Well, there's always room for a little more change in all of us.
Well, some of us needed a little more than others.
Oh, don't even worry about her. I'm sure she's gonna pay for all the heartache that she's caused people around here. And you know, we always reap what we sow. But who's to say this? She won't take a turn for the better. Oh, man, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, it's a new job, a new apartment, a total new lease on life.
And if anybody deserves it, you do.
I think I am so happy I want to shout.
Well, now you just go right ahead and shout.
No, I better not. You know, Nancy, I might wake her up or something.
No, waking up to good news never hurt anybody.
Oh. Let me get that, okay? Hello?
Miriam Mason?
Speaking.
This is Sergeant Brubaker, Police Headquarters.
Yes, is there something wrong?
I need you to come down here as soon as possible.
Nothing's changed.
Yes, it has. Now she knows the truth. She may not be ready to accept the truth, but she heard every word you said. Dave, listen to me. You had to be firm with her, and you were. Now, you can't judge your actions by the way she reacted.
Well, maybe.
I learned a long time ago with Nancy that people won't change until they really see and admit that they have to change. As long as they can keep overlooking the truth, they can keep avoiding change. Now, you showed her the truth. The reason that she's leaving Kingsley is because she made a mess out of her life here, and she knows that. But you gave her something to take with her besides hatred. And that's the truth. She will know the truth, and the truth will set her free.
Do you think she'll ever be able to accept the truth?
Yes, I do. And I think you handled it just fine.
And I pray God that I did. Because it may be the last time I ever see her.
Sergeant.
Oh, that was quick.
Well, I tried because it sounded rather serious.
Well, it is. I just don't know how it's going to affect you.
It?
Well, it's not an it, it's a Lance.
What's with Lance?
I am afraid I just got a message that he's escaped from prison.
Lance, he can't escape because he was in a maximum security
Look,
prison.
I don't know all the details yet. Why don't you, can you have a seat? Apparently he escaped in the back of a laundry truck.
Where is he now?
We don't know. He stole a car and jumped this guy on a dirt road out near the lake. The police put up roadblocks, but he's ditched the car and he's got away on foot.
He just got away. What?
He just shook him, that's all. I'm sorry this guy seems to be such a Houdini. We've got an APB out on him. The State Bureau guys are helping us out. It's going to be a full-scale manhunt. Now, don't worry. It's just a matter of time. I just didn't want you to hear it on the radio or TV. I wanted you to hear it from me. You want a cup of coffee or something?
No, I don't want... What if you don't catch him?
Don't think like that. We will.
Oh, fine, that's very comforting for you to say, but meanwhile, I know that animal is out there running loose.
I understand how you feel, and you're justified, and that's why I want to put you out of circulation for a while until we grab this guy.
Okay, so what do you have in mind?
All right, I can't pull anybody off the manhunt.
Oh, wait a minute. Could you at least maybe have some of your men on patrol that could come around at least every once in a while?
Already done.
Good. Good. Well, I'm very glad that you told me here like this because I think I might have gone a little berserk if I would have heard it over the radio or at home or something else.
Are you sure you're going to be all right?
I think so. Thank you.
I haven't told Russ Weaver yet, but I've got to for his own safety. Look, if you're not all right, I can get somebody to drive you home.
Sergeant Brubaker, what seems to be...
Jeremy, almost scared me to death.
I know, I'm sorry. I thought my brother was in a maximum security unit, too. Listen, how can he just jump into a laundry truck and ride away?
Look, I know it's a maximum security prison, but it's minimum budget, just like everything else these days.
Well, where is he now?
Well, I was telling Miriam before you burst in.
Listen, Miriam, I'm sorry I frightened you. I didn't know.
What I was telling Miriam is that he's held up somewhere in the Lakeview area, as close as we can tell.
It's close. You mean you don't know?
Look, he's no idiot. He knows that every guy with a badge within 100 miles is looking for him. I doubt very seriously if he's going to be staying around Kingsley.
Surely you called me in here for a better reason.
Yes, I did. You're in a tough situation.
Me? I certainly didn't have anything to do with his escape.
We know that. But you look very, very much like your brother. I'm going to need to know where you are practically every minute of the day and night. You see, I don't want my people to shoot first and ask questions later. You got me?
Is that important?
Look, every state police officer has got a picture of your brother, and they know how...
Miriam,
It's not you, it's your brother.
Yeah, believe me, I know all about that. Nobody in this town lets me forget.
I don't think it's going to ease up for the next couple of days until we pick him up either.
I eventually thought I'd get her to like me. Thought we were making a little progress.
Look, don't worry. When this thing with Lance clears over and Kingsley gets back to normal, who knows? You'll forget, she'll forget. Maybe you'll be friends. I don't know.
No, I think it's hopeless.
Well, right now I got a couple important things to think about, and that's finding your brother and finding the Dar es Salaam Bible.